Hey, Hoff, why don't you start the movie? Oh, I'm a demon. Oh, you're a demon. What's up? Welcome to Obscure Chatter, episode 9. If this is your first episode, I'm Terry Doty, and I'm sorry.
Why are you sorry?
I don't know. And this beautiful soul next to me is Daman Mills.
Hi,
Hi.
Damon.
Hi.
Hi. I'm slightly
I'm a
jet-lagged.
Libro.
That's me.
Libro.
What, Libro?
I said Libro
That's
instead
fine
of a Libra.
too. That's okay.
That seems like something someone describing themselves as an alpha male would say. I'm a Libro.
I'm a Libro. It's like, you don't even get it. I'm a Libro.
I'm a Verbro.
Verbro. Verbro.
I'm like trying to turn the other ones.
Capricorn, bro. Doesn't work. It's fine.
Well, today we're watching, let's see. Oh yeah, it's going to be tastic already, but we're watching.
Ooh, spicy already.
Ooh, which is, I'm like, we're just watching. Do her thing. Why
Yeah.
not?
Yeah.
I think she's still a thing.
She needs to be around more. The last thing I think I saw her in besides, this, was, and then that was kind of...
I saw, what was it?
I don't think I've seen that one.
It's on Hulu,
Mm-hmm.
but it's actually really, really good. But it's subtle. But I think it's it's this fatigue that you get when you see an actress in the same thing over and over and over.
Yeah.
Like Jennifer Lawrence kind of had the same thing.
She was in everything for the first 5 years that she was in.
But you could tell even she was like, why am I?
Why am I here? I'm tired. I've been on set for 15 hours today.
Yes. Or yeah, I think that was the big thing with the X-Men movies, like the flashback ones where she was just like, why did I decide to be in all this makeup? I don't understand.
I saw something like it took I don't even know, 8 hours, something like that.
It
for
used
makeup.
to, like the Rebecca Romaine days, showing my age. Oh yeah. I don't know what all will beep out of that, but yes. If you, again, if you're new to the show, we beep out relevant information in the movie because it doesn't really matter, even though we're talking about the movie, because it's all about Damon, who just got back from LA.
Yes, slightly
From
jet lagged. Slightly. It's okay. It's fine.
It's fine.
It's fine. Everything was great. It's just LA traffic. It's again abysmal. The worst.
I think it still makes more sense than the Dallas-Fort Worth area traffic.
I don't get that shit at all. I'm
no.
like, why are you people? One, you all drive like shit. Two, I don't know, it's just a clusterfuck sometimes. I'm like, why?
I think, for a while there, statistically, we were the worst drivers in America. I don't know if that's still the case, but
I would believe it.
I jokingly drove with Initial D music playing, oh, this is gonna be so funny, but remembering everything in Texas is a straight line, oh, this isn't even fun. This is sad. No,
it's too straight for me.
It's too Libro.
too Libro.
Verbro.
Bro.
Actually, that made me think. Did a local con last weekend that I realized I've done since 2011, which,
oh my God.
I'm like, all these kids are now adults, and it's weird. Life is weird. That's how it happens. That's how it works. But it's that whole thing with Fairy Tale. They're like, are you a Virgo? I'm like, I wish that I got cast based on my son.
Right.
This character was born in April, so we had to cast you because you're the only April birthday. I'd be like,
true.
That?
Yeah, I'm a Cancer, so I just need to be a crab monster at some point. Hopefully. In time.
I was trying to think about this, because I described the show to you, and you immediately got the commentary aspect.
Yeah.
But how long have you been doing this? How long have you been doing voiceover?
So I got interested in it when I was in high school. I was a fan of anime and shit, and I was like, this seems kind of fun. I used to be really, 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 really introverted, and I was overweight, and I didn't have a lot of friends, and I was just like, oh, this is kind of a fun thing. So I started practicing with it just for funsies, and I remember I didn't want my mom to find out because I would think she would think I was fucking insane. What are you doing in there? And I'm like, nothing.
Say something equally embarrassing, but somehow less embarrassing.
Right. So I started researching more about the VO aspect of it, and acting, and which is the most important part that people fail to understand is to be an actor. It's not about just voice manipulation, but being able to act every which way.
Right. It's not even about like, I think someone's like, well, I know I don't have a degree. I'm like, I don't know many people that have a degree. I have an associate's in radio, television, film, and some could argue that that's overqualified in a lot of things. But yeah, like acting is really important. And I think sometimes people are like, yes, you can naturally have good instincts or whatever, but even someone who's been in the business for a while, I'm still taking classes.
Me too. Yeah, absolutely. And that's the thing is like I, initially started with like a lot of self-study and like trying to figure that out and navigate that my own way. But, eventually it came to the point where, yes, I do need to take classes and kind of refine that skill, especially for areas of VO that I'm not as familiar with, like promos or commercials and stuff like that are, because I'm more of a character actor. I specialize more in that. But when it comes to like, I took a promo workshop and I was like, what? What is this? I'm scared.
It's a different vibe, but also the way that you're directed when you do get stuff is really... The last thing I did an audition for. They cast me based off my demo. And when I came in, like, I don't know if you can probably just properly describe when you're directed by an ad agency. You know what I mean? Where at one point, it was like, take something. It was only supposed to be an hour, so of course it went over an hour.
Sure.
Okay, so the way you said goal here made me fucking hate you. I'm like,
what the hell?
And you have to be like, okay, I'll pull back.
I'll change my voice.
I'm like, oh, okay, I'll implement that note. And the chick went, can you? I'm like,
what a bitch.
And that's what being in voiceover is like compared to like whenever I write something and test readers or editors come back and they're like, oh, hey, so I don't want to offend you, but I didn't really get this scene. And I'm like, okay. They're like, it's not that I didn't get what you were going for. I'm like, no, I'm an actor. You have no idea.
What I've heard and
so I'm like, so me being like, okay, maybe I'll strike that scene or maybe I'll rework it.
Yeah.
Because they're so afraid of hurting your feelings. I'm like, my feelings are barely there.
It's fine. My self-esteem doesn't exist anymore. It's okay.
But yeah, when you do like promo stuff, I'm like, I miss being an actor, like a character.
Yeah, because then they're just like, it's just so corporate kind of, and it's just there's like no nonsense, and they just want to get it done, and I'm just like, I just don't get it. It's kind of, this reminds me of something, and it's not like a bad story. It's just kind of funny because I was working with Tia Ballard one time. I love her so much, and she didn't turn off the talkback.
Oh no!
And she was just like, "Oh, I didn't like that at all," and I was like, I'm sorry. or something like, I hate it. And I'm like, I could do it again.
And you gotta own it.
Yeah, but it was just funny to me. I was like, Tia, I love, because it doesn't bother me. I'm just like, okay, no. Sure, yeah.
What do you want?
And I'm like, what? I'll change it, sure.
It's gotta be something very personal for me to be like, what's your problem?
Yeah. It's very infrequent where I'm just like, yeah, so I'm just like, okay.
For those who don't know, the talkback mic is obviously like even Stephen right now has one where I don't hear Stephen talking in his room, but if he hits the pedal, I can hear him, the talkback. But sometimes if you're sharing a room with a bunch of people, directors, you can invert the polarity. And so it could be like where Mike does this. Mike always has the mic on and he doesn't have to press down. This is at Funimation, obviously, but where you don't have to press down. Right. But if you're used to having to press it down and suddenly you're not pressing it and you're like, oh, I didn't like that at all. And someone's like, okay, what can I change about it? Like, how did you hear me?
Yeah, that's what she's like, oh, I'm sorry. And I'm like, oh, it's okay. I literally would take that direction and just do it again. It's fine. And I was like, okay.
Or sometimes, I had to learn for a project at Okratron, which we're at Okratron again. Thank you.
I think I just spat on myself.
Good. I'm glad.
Get it
but for one project here, mostly at Okratron, the engineer is also the producer and the director. And it just worked out to where one of the directors of something that we still can't talk about, which you're in also. We can it. Which you sound great. But Donald just couldn't do it for some reason. So I was like, well, I engineer at home and all that stuff. I've just never really engineered for animation. So I spent a couple of days kind of reviewing stuff. And the main thing was that the actors are like, I know you're talking to me right now. And I'm like, oh shit, the talk back. God damn it.
That's so
Yeah.
funny.
I'm like, all right, get more real with it. And they're like, are you trying to talk to me? And then I'll hit the mic. I'm like, no.
No.
Nah.
Make it raw.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Okay, so I did all that, training and shit. And I still do it. But so I've kind of worked in VO in a different number of areas. I started doing some stuff in New York City first.
I thought you were from New York, like, because I think that's around the time that you and I started talking online.
Yes. So I lived in Ohio, actually. I'm from Seattle. I've kind of moved all over the place. I've lived in Hawaii. I've lived in Ohio. So I was up there, and I had a friend who recommended me to some projects over there. So I started traveling back and forth to there.
Yeah.
And I did my first anime up there, Holy Night. And that was with Media Blasters, which is a company I don't know if it's still around. Anyway.
I was about to ask. I'm like, I've heard it, and I remember like a few of our friends are like used to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Like we're talking about it like it's dead, but sometimes I don't know.
I think it's dead. I don't know though. And I worked on Pokemon a little bit here and there, but then I was like, "There's not a lot up here. I'm gonna try Dallas. We'll see how it goes." And then it's been kind of good since I got here.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting. Actually, I was in Mike's booth, and I guess knowing me, I was early, and I walked in. And there was luggage, and then you walked out of the booth. I'm like, oh, hi, person I've only ever spoken to online. Hi. It's nice to meet you.
Hello, I appeared.
And I actually hugged you, which is rare for me if I don't know you. And so much has changed since then. Like, I know so many, like, I think everybody's a transplant. Like, what was it? It's that Liz Lemon joke where she realizes that she's actually been given unfair opportunities to move up. Mm-hmm. And she's like, I don't belong here. And Hornberger goes, Liz, this is America. None of us belong here.
That's fair.
Like, what was it? I was directing Big Windup, and Micah was flying back and forth from Hawaii.
Yeah. And then Micah and I kind of connected on that at one point because he lived on the island that I lived on, which is kind of crazy. But I think it was possibly at the same time, but he moved far sooner than I did because I lived in Hawaii during my teenage years because my family just kind of migrated there because my dad's family is, he grew up there. So but that just was kind of funny that we had that weird connection randomly. It was like, okay.
Yeah, somebody just moved here, and I think it isn't until because what we do for anime specifically, like it's non-regional accents or whatever. But sometimes we'll be like, "Where are you from?"
Yeah.
Okay. Like sometimes, like with Cynthia Kranz, it'd be like, "Girl, take that Texan out."
Yeah,
She's like,
yeah.
"Oh no,
I'm sorry." It's her and Wendy Powell. They both.
Oh my
God.
God.
They both like get that Texan on, and I'm just like. Sometimes I find myself nowadays catching myself saying "y'all" very frequently, and I'm
y'all
like,
is a nice little thing. I don't know if it's specific to Texas, but like visiting. Like friends and stuff.
My mom would give me shit. She'd be like, I hear you. And I'm like, I know.
Like, oh my God, what did you just say? I'm like, I said y'all. It makes sense.
It does. It is a word.
You all, y'all.
Y'all. It's quicker. It's more efficient.
Look, y'all.
Look, y'all.
But like, what was it? I think there was only one time where, it was Zach Bolton. He was directing me on something. So this tells you how long ago it was because Zach was still directing. He's a producer now. Where he was like, I'm sorry, who are you talking to? I'm like, I'm talking to my mom. He's like, so not your mom? I'm like, oh no! like my mom. Because even though I've lived most of my life in Texas, like the second I was doing a con in Dallas, they're like, where are you from? I'm like, actually, I went to high school in Arlington and da-da-da-da-da. They're like, no, where are you from? I'm like, Pennsylvania. They're like, I hear it.
I didn't think I knew that. I didn't know you were from up there. Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, I was born there and then moved to Virginia, then to California. My brother was born in California, and both of our parents are from Texas. We moved back to Texas, and our parents got divorced. So like that's
it was
where
a similar thing of me. I'm just like migrating all over the map. Yeah.
And my brother and I don't get along, so we like joke about like East Coast West Coast rivalry.
Right.
Both of our parents are from Texas. That's fine.
It's fine.
Yeah, I don't know many people that like anytime I took Stephen to New York for the first time and he's like, oh, I get it. Like But everyone's like, oh, well, you guys aren't from Texas. I'm like, Stephen was born and raised here.
Yeah.
But yeah.
New York's a lot.
Yeah, New York's a lot.
I just remember one time going up there, and I just have this vivid memory of tripping in New York. Mm-hmm. I had a Starbucks drink like this one, mm-hmm. and I was just walking through the streets, and it was summer, and then I just tripped over a grate. And went just down, and then nobody gave a shit. They'll just walk by. You're in the way. Move.
See, yeah, no, that's what I love about New York. Like Steven's like, if money was no problem, I would live in New York. I'm like, It's our brand of asshole.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah. I like New York. I would like to live there part-time, you know what I mean? Just like have like incremental parts of the year where like I live in New York, January through March, or like maybe
I want
summer,
a cabin
probably.
in Maine. Yeah, like I want all that shit. But like,
so it goes.
yeah, I was walking and I'm pantomiming an umbrella, and the wind just hit it to where my umbrella swooshed and totally gouged a dude in the fucking face.
Oh no!
And I'm like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. He's like, it's whatever, and just keeps walking. I'm like, I seriously injured this dude, but that's New York, baby.
They're just like, it's fine.
It's
we'll
fine.
just keep moving. Yeah, my hands were like
he's bleeding.
That was me. My hands were just like scraped up and bleeding and horrible. And I was just my friend was. She's like, oh my God, we got it. She was like, had a doctor's appointment while she was in the city. She was like, well, we're going to my doctor anyway. Whatever, it's fine. Just they'll patch you up. I was like, oh my God. So it was like, it was very exciting.
I think that was there was a movie. Oh my God, it was horrible. But there was actually a joke. Played this character that like this artist or whatever, that New York artist is like, mm-hmm. everything is art when you
everything is art.
But he had doused himself in blood and just laid like on the sidewalk.
Oh my God.
And it isn't until the lead character is like, dude, are you okay? And then he sits up and he's like, 3 days. It took 3 days for someone to ask if I was all right.
Give a shit. That's like, so funny.
That's pretty accurate.
Yeah, they just mind their own business. It's crazy. I don't know if like LA's the same, because it's also a hustle town, but I haven't experienced that part of it.
LA, I think the last time I actually went for pleasure. We did episode 3 there with Steve, and that was fun. It was a different recording vibe.
Right.
Just like a different setup. Like it's still similar because it's Okra West, or some people say Okra West. Pardon me. But when I was hanging out with other actors, it felt like they really wanted to know why I was really there. I'm like, I'm just hanging out with my dude, and like we're probably gonna go to Universal, and we're just gonna eat some really good fucking food, and just hang out. Like we just wanted to get away, and they're like,
But why are you
but why are you here? I'm like, I know that we're friends, but I feel like you think I'm lying to be like, I'm here to take all of your roles. Like,
got him.
Got him. I got him all while I was posting photos of us at Pink's. Come on. Calm the fuck down.
I still have not been to Disney ever.
I've never been either. That was, someone likened that because they live near the Disney stuff.
Right.
Like I've never been, and I have no desire to go because someone was giving me shit again for not having gone to IKEA.
I haven't either. Never. Fuck it. It's fine.
Or Cheesecake Factory. Have you ever been?
I have been to Cheesecake
I've
Factory.
Never. Okay.
It's all right.
I don't get it.
It's not a big deal. It's like, it's overpriced, I think.
If you hype up anything, the second I see, like, that's why I'm like, if it's a really good movie, like, I love the movie that we're watching, but it took forever to watch it because it's like, oh my God.
It's like, have you seen?
You would love it.
It was me with Lord of the Rings, honestly. I didn't watch it until later in life. Or Star Wars, even. I was just like, meh.
Well, see, yeah, like, I talked about that because there was a Christmas, 2 Christmases ago, where we did a Secret Santa, and I bought all this Star Wars shit and put it in a bag, and Tia's the one that opened it, and she's like, I've never seen Star Wars. And then you just hear, like, Alejandro be like, what?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. The loudest bitch. She's just like, what? What the fuck do you mean you haven't seen it?
I mean, it was the only thing that topped that was the year previous to that, whenever he got Boss Baby. During that, you remember that?
That was the best shit. He threw a fucking fit.
Boss Baby? Like,
Boss Baby! Just lost his mind.
My
that
God.
was so funny. I was actually thinking he was going to go in the parking lot and burn it and light it on fire and just ruin it.
Oh my God. That was a weird gift exchange because there was also that thing with the friend of a friend.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm not even going to talk about it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it ended with like someone leaving to be like, if I don't leave, I'm going to punch someone out. And a lot of texts.
It was very heated.
It wasn't an actor that pissed us off, shockingly. But it's not that passive-aggressive party thing where it's like, yeah, I love you.
Hey, that
You're
bitch.
I think of that Mike Birbiglia's latest special, which is the new one. But where he's like, my wife and I hate parties. My wife and I love talking after leaving a party.
Yeah.
I'm like that's the best.
Yeah.
Where it's
yeah,
that was great. And getting in to the car and looking at whoever you're with, be it your significant other or your friend, and being like, what the fuck happened? They're just gonna casually bring their lover and we're not supposed to say anything?
We're supposed to fucking accept it?
We're like not supposed to say anything?
No.
Like, okay, fine. I'm like, drama, I'm gonna eat it.
I'm gonna literally eat it. I ran out of snacks.
Oh no.
No, it's okay, it's fine, I should stop.
Yeah. Until like we finish the movie and then eat more snacks.
It
Oh
will
my
happen.
God.
I'll find another bag of chips or stop somewhere. I'm like,
Got to the bottom of the coffee.
oh no, the coffee grounds. Yeah, my favorite. What were we talking about? So for my VO cycle, so I moved here, and then I've done some work in Houston, which, by the way, that drive is almost as bad as LA traffic.
It's almost as bad,
but there's no traffic.
It's prettier. It's so pretty.
That's so true. I was just like, because I just came back yesterday, and I probably spent in 3 days 10 hours driving through traffic.
Bitch, no.
That was nuts. Because I flew in at rush hour, and then my session was during rush hour, and then I had to leave during rush hour. It's like, God damn it! Like, why? I didn't think about this at all. I was like, oh, that looks fine. Not remembering.
Like being stuck and doing that like shake against the steering wheel. This.
I literally screamed at one point, I think. I was just because people almost, murdered me. It's fine with their cars. It's fine.
Yeah.
So I've done Houston stuff, and then LA I've kind of branched out to a little bit here and there. But yeah, it's been fun. I work, here with you guys, and it's been cute. I like working here. It's fun.
On different things. Yeah. I haven't really worked. I've worked with you, but I don't think I've really worked with you on anime.
No,
we did. You did my audiobook, which the way, I'm totally. I'm totally sucking my own dick.
Do it.
But you're chanting, do it. But like when you write something, obviously you have people's voices in your head. Yeah. I didn't know what the fuck the character you ended up playing was supposed to sound like. And I didn't know how Greeley, who plays, your partner in every sense of the word.
Yes.
Because I like to think, like, humans are the only ones that are really hung up on sexuality.
Yeah.
To where, like, everything else, it's like, I would think that, because I think about the animal kingdom.
Right.
I think about, like, monogamy not really being a thing. And I think about just, like, I think everyone's pretty much pan. Everywhere.
Yeah, they don't care. They're just like, it's fine.
Yeah,
whatever.
It's like, whatever. Can you fuck it?
Can you fuck it? Yes.
You fuck it?
Then it's fine. Just do it. Do it.
I can't do it. But, like, I don't know. So, and also, that's been lovely with the reception.
I just recognized that bitch for somewhere. Hold on. That's it. That's it.
Really good.
I was like, I know that bitch.
Oh, yeah. Sister, she's the.
Yeah. I need to hit it. I just remember. I haven't talked to him in a while.
Oh my God, he's so awesome.
He's so cool.
Sweet. But randomly, I never gotten any kind of flack for sexuality. Like, it's because I think most sci-fi readers or genre readers aren't really hung up on shit the way that I think the very minuscule people that are the loudest voices tend to make it things like, that's weird. I'm like, yeah, but like you have a megaphone saying that's weird, where the rest of us are just trying to live our fucking lives.
That's true.
But anyways, what you and Greeley did is definitely influencing what I'm doing with book 2. God, I have time to write it. But like I wrote like Abe specifically for Aaron, and I'm like, oh my God, Aaron got it. Like I wrote Maggie specifically for Tia, and Tia just fucking got it.
Right.
But then like I wrote 11 for I don't know who, and I cast myself, and I'm like, what did I mean here?
Like, I don't
Because
understand.
it's those cold characters. Whenever you get casted, like, all right, so they're very like monotone, very level, so you can't give too much away,
Right.
and you have to guess context. But when you've created the context, you're like,
You're like, oh my God.
I only have myself to blame here.
I don't know what I would do in that situation. That's tough.
I don't know. Or, I mean, like when we do, or it's just like the people that, I don't really think anybody gives a fuck about sub or dub anymore unless they just want to, like, I have an opinion.
Yes.
So
and
I want
shout
to.
it from the YouTube comments.
Well, it's like not having an opinion until someone's like, oh, hey, I like potato chips. It's like, fries are better, you fucking bitch.
Yep.
Like,
Yep.
I didn't say fries weren't great. But, yeah, you just don't know. But sometimes with the weekly stuff that we record,
Yeah.
specifically at Funny,
Yeah.
because they're the ones I think doing it the most, and if I'm wrong, I don't care. But obviously, it's what we typically do a lot of.
Right.
Is sometimes we'll have to be like, the Seiyu feels like. To me, I kind of hear like the Seiyu is implying something here. I'm
Right.
like, yeah, but we won't know that for like 5 episodes. I'm like, yeah.
Yeah. It's
So can I
hard.
tease that?
Yeah. You can get it for pickups.
Final video, it'll be different. I'm like, yeah, but I want to know that now.
Yeah. God, that's complicated. With not knowing. Oh, I hate when I have to sneeze and I can't sneeze. I'm fine. It's like having a mini stroke. I'm just like,
Do it.
it's fine.
God.
What was I saying? Yes. So, that character was really fun. And did I do some kind of accent on him?
You did this okay because I'd already known what you like. I know from your speaking voice that you can do like the teenage, but like the anime character that's usually in every fucking show, and I'm like, all right, yeah, like your voice. And so it wasn't until like I started hearing, especially from Okratron proper, doing like aliens and obviously helping out Chris Ayres and all that, where I'm like, holy fuck, that's Damon, and it just keeps getting bigger every year because you're a bitch. Bitch.
I'm a bitch.
No,
It's okay.
he's like even actually because I have a Google alert on my name. I put something about the One Piece movie that came out last year, and I was like, "Fuck you, you beautiful bastard."
Oh,
Terry Jody has nothing but high praise for Daman Mills, and I'm like,
from the Reddit. I think I
like,
saw that. Yeah,
all right,
sometimes I'll
guys,
scroll
calm
through.
down. Like, yeah, I think he's great.
Thanks.
But then, yeah, like people that never respond to my shit that we're friends with, they're like, I know, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, I just didn't know because I worked on you, or you auditioned. Yeah, you auditioned for the audiobook.
Yeah.
And what it was is basically there are types where like there could be 5 characters, but one character is going to kind of be like the template for those 5.
Right.
Rather than have someone like I did an audition not too long ago where they gave sides for every character. This was an anime.
Yeah.
Every fucking character. Where you're like, okay, the main 4 people all sound the same and they have the same description. You could have just been like, all right, they didn't sound good but what about this one? What about that one? But I get it.
Condense the audition, please.
Yeah, it's so when you get an 80-page audition.
I have a mini panic attack.
Yeah, I'm like, and then like, and it's due tomorrow.
And then I'm like, I'm going out of town. It always happens.
Yeah.
It's always when I'm going out of town, I'm like, ah.
And you're like, actually, and then it's like, well, thank God that's over. And they're like, actually, I want you for a call back. And you're like, you're happy?
And I'm like, yes.
That's great. Like, are you crying? Blood. Yes, I'm crying.
Out of my eyes. Yes, it's
God.
pouring.
But, yeah, the audiobook stuff,
Uh-huh.
you auditioned for Crux, which is Greeley's character.
Yes.
And I had written Crux with Tatum in mind, but Tatum, like, he's like, I really want to audition for that, but I'm doing all this stuff. Would you hate me if I just bowed out? I'm like, yes, but no. And then I'm like, oh, Greeley sent me 3 takes. And so we combined those 3. And then I remember yours, And I'm like, and it was between like you and Josh, but I'm like, I have another DeLorean that's going to have a bigger role later. But he'll just kind of, and actually because of what you did, I ended up like tweaking stuff to give you a little more to do.
Yes.
That's what's fun of it. But the audiobook sounds fantastic.
Yeah, that was really good.
But aside from that, I don't think I don't even know if I've played off of you that much.
No, we haven't. Like, I think the only thing I can think of was those, because I was listening to your podcast, I think you mentioned it, it's the Russian scientist from the Broly movie. I was also one of the Russian scientists in the Broly.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, yes, hello.
Well, somebody brought that up. They're like, why does Planet Vegeta have Russian scientists?
It's space Russia.
Or it's that Doctor Who thing, where they're traveling all over the world, but everyone's British.
Oh, yeah. Yes, of course.
Every planet's got a east.
Yes.
But I got messaged about that. I didn't know that you were in that scene. But Alejandro messaged me. He's like, why?
Why the
Why
Russian?
Are you Russian?
Yeah, I don't remember. I think I just came in and then they're like, can you do a Russian accent? I was like, of course I can do a Russian accent. And then I was a guy with no eyebrows.
I think, what Sabbath said is he had heard, he had recorded, another smaller character in that scene, and he kind of had this Russian flair, and that made him go huh.
Yeah.
Because for my part, someone was already recorded.
I think me too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And even then, it wasn't until the movie came out, they're like, oh, you were the hot Russian scientist. I'm like, oh, so I was in it.
Yeah, it's like, okay, great.
And she has a name. Like, oh shit.
Yes.
Although so sometimes your character doesn't have a name, and someone's like, oh my god, you were in this. I'm like, yeah, I was like Woman A in 3 episodes. Like, oh my god. I'm like, I was a lead in this one show. It's really lighthearted. Like, yeah, that's great.
But you're in this, the thing that I love for 5 minutes. I love it.
But yeah, no, aside from that, we only work together on video games.
Yeah. Yeah. When we were recording Kakarot, I think that's the most interaction we had.
That was the big one.
That was so
because you
fun.
also had just done the One Piece movie.
Yes. Wait, I think.
Yeah, because you're like, we had to baby your voice.
I think that was something else. But yes, something Dragon Ball oriented. But yeah, I remember that was a lot of my voice was gone after that One Piece movie. I was like,
but you and I can talk, so it's like so all right, shut up. No.
I'm like, but
I
want to talk more. No, your voice is dying. Shut the fuck up, everybody. The whole.
I didn't even know we were calling it because I was a script supervisor. I was the script supervisor for the English scripts, and that's the third Dragon Ball thing I've been the script supervisor for. Is Xenoverse 2, Fighters, which took a kid at a elementary school I was talking at. He's like, you keep saying Fighter Z, it's Fighters.
Yeah,
and I'm like,
I'll correct you.
Thank you, Jamal. And he's like, you're welcome. I'm like, take a sticker.
Actually, this.
It's actually this. I mean, I didn't want to interrupt you, but
this is the correct way.
Continue talking. And then, this is the third one. But I think we were. It's that whole thing when you have to work under different titles. But I'm like, oh, Kakarot was launched a couple weeks ago.
Yeah. And it's like, yeah.
Enjoy.
No, that one was fun. I remember. I think, what did you say about Frieza? It was like,
because it's like, is he British?
You were like, I think he's Madonna British, and I was like, that's fucking hilarious. I have never thought of that because it's like kind of mid-Atlantic, but not. I don't know. It's in a weird area, and I'm just like,
that transatlantic, type of thing.
Yeah.
Well, and I know that's been off and on because since then, I've actually been in I've been in a Dragon Ball movie before. I think I was in Resurrection F. Yeah, as part of Frieza's Hell.
Oh, the fairies.
Hey, Mr. Grumpy Pants. Yeah, had no idea what was happening. But now, super done. It's almost done.
I don't know where.
I don't know where we are.
I don't know what's happening.
But gotten to play the younger version of Jiren.
Right.
And realizing I'm like, because it's a small role, but you forget small role in Dragon Ball. Like someone like wrote me up like in a couple of like things.
I
I'm
think
like,
I saw an
"Wait,
article or something about
what?"
you and Z or something.
But they were like, Terry's really known for her extra work. And I'm like, fuck you.
Oh, what a dick.
But I'm like, I mean, you're not wrong. But but that's the thing is like we're constantly busy, but most of what people know is the stuff that's getting pushed out. But like we've done a lot of stuff behind the scenes and then with games and also various characters that I know because obviously Chris Ayres, who's amazing. Mm-hmm. Phenomenal. Yes. And I've known him for a while. He just couldn't do it for that time. But that's weird. Mm-hmm. I know that's a weird position to be in.
Yeah.
But it seems like the response and the understanding has really been there.
Yeah, and Chris and I are really good friends too, so I think there's a good understanding there, and he's very, very kind to me about the whole thing as well. And he give me credit on Twitter when somebody's like, "Hey, is this you?" And he's like, "No, it's actually Daman."
Oh, he's doing so well.
Yeah, now he's got his transplant, so he's on recovery.
That was fucking terrifying.
I know.
I can't imagine, but I'm so glad. He's doing better. But no, but we have a whole thing on like, is this Daman or Chris? Is this Daman or Chris? And then like we don't know, and like that's the point.
Yeah.
I'm
like, haha, surprise.
That's so. I've only filled in for friends. There was one show where I asked Brina, I might that, I don't know. I asked Brina why I'm replacing her, and she went, "Cause I'm just not feeling it." And I saw the episode that was replacing her on, and I'm like, oh, okay.
I see what you're doing.
I get it. But I've filled in for her because like that's under my voiceover resume is burps on command. She can't burp, so I did that
she can't. Oh no.
I did that on Sergeant Frog, did that on Hanagami.
Okay.
Like I'm her stunt burper. And I filled in, and especially like with the weekly broadcast, nobody's had to fill in for me, and I haven't had to fill in for anyone.
People almost had to when I had that thing going on with my throat, but then I managed to get through it. But that was scary. I was like, no.
Oh god.
I'm like, no, I'm not gonna let it happen.
Nope.
But yeah, it's tricky. Voice matching in general is it's like, when people are like, oh, voice acting is just impressions. It's like, not really.
Dude, I've had someone stalking me for like over a year about me saying like, don't say you're an impressionist.
Yeah.
Like, don't start with like I do impressions. Like, are you an actor? That's what I'm asking.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
And the acting, like you sounding like someone is one thing.
Yeah, but being able to act in that voice in every which way, that's the hard part. And maintaining that voice.
Because also Chris is older. Mm-hmm. He's pulling from a different thing. Because I remember when Chris replaced Linda Young.
Right. It's kind of been a weird all over the place. But we're all friends, so that's good.
Timey-wimey. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's important too.
Yeah. But yeah, it's kind of tricky, and it's not the only voice matching job that I've done, and it's just a matter of trying to keep it as consistent as possible and maintaining the soul of that character.
And when you're under a good team,
yes,
like that knows the show, it's like, hey, does this make sense?
Yeah. But it's it's tricky, but yeah, that's why I try to tell people is like, don't. Like, you can have impressions at the ready, and they can come in handy, and you can kind of maybe tweak them to create a whole new character.
Yeah.
But don't make that your foundation for getting into voice acting, because then that's just not going to work. You're not going to be so-and-so.
It's I've mentioned this before, but it's when you can laugh in that voice, cry in that voice, fight in that voice, fuck in that voice, and die in that voice, then you can tell me you can do that fucking voice. Yeah, where it's oh yeah, I can really sound like blah blah blah. I'm like, cool. All right, do this big build up. All right, like I need you to do like a full like Dragon Ball 30-second run. I'm like, I can't do that. And like I don't think you can sound like that.
You can't do that.
But if you're like, hey, I'm starting out, blah blah blah. But it's also like, that's great. What can you do?
Yeah, what is your unique qualities?
I can hire blah blah blah.
Right. Yeah, and if you don't have any of that available in your toolbox, then that's just not going to get you hired. And
I think most people should look at that as call to be like, you know what, I'll work on that. But the instinctual reaction for people that
it's rebuttal
is fuck you. You don't know me.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, it's like, I mean, no, I don't.
I don't know you, and I think that maybe you should take the advice, but you don't have to. It's just being offered to you.
Yeah. I started out on stage, and then I did stand up, and then I started doing indie films, most of which I don't think have ever seen the light of day. I've been the lead in some pretty bad horror movies.
I want to see.
No, no, you don't. When I had long black hair and was unhealthily skinny, I've lost so much weight. They're like, you're dying. I'm like, probably. But you know how that shit is. Where it's hey, maybe if I'm really, really thin, I'll feel fulfilled.
Been there. Been there.
Yeah.
Yeah. I used to be thinner than I am now.
You and I have talked about, when we were in Colorado, it's hi, mirror. On a lot of that shit.
It's rough.
Yeah, you equate your weight to your worth.
Yeah. And because I used to be really, really heavy, and I've lost a lot of weight since then. I'm, go to the gym now actively, but it's just, at first when I lost the weight, I got too thin.
Yeah.
And it just was very weak, I think. And just didn't have a lot of stamina for just anything.
But when, and I think a lot of, the traditional straight white male, I think, even deals with this too. It's we all have that thing, there's this idea that if you're beautiful and trim, you don't have problems.
Yep.
So when you grow up having problems and you're remotely chubby, it's when I'm thin, I won't have those problems. And it actually took, naturally, at my laziest, I'm a 16. At my trimmest, whenever I'm actually fully active, I'm a 12, 14. That's when I'm happy.
Yeah.
When I try to be thinner than that, it's unhealthy. But it was to the point where I was a size 6, which is insane. That's no boob, no butt, no nothing, and that scary giraffe neck thing that you get where it's you I can see your veins when you're talking I see. But it took someone that I really don't like. But I think it's because, we just have this thing where we're too similar. So I've known her since the 7th grade. But I had just randomly seen her, and she, pulled me aside. I'm like, what do you want? Because we, actively do not like each other, but we have a lot of the same friends, so we still see each other. And she's like, what the fuck are you doing? I'm like, what the fuck do you mean? She's like, you're dying. And I'm like, look, and of course it's you don't know. She's like, I have nothing to gain by telling you that I'm worried about you or anything like that. That's how fucking sickly you look. Jesus. And it was actually looking, I'm like, oh, I see my hip bone. And I was also sick of smoking, but I didn't want to quit smoking because it's an appetite suppressant.
Yeah.
All that shit. Yeah, you just don't think about that shit. But sometimes it takes that. And of course, it's not something that you can maintain.
No, right.
No.
It's tricky. And then I've been trying to go to the gym a lot more right now because I'm trying to tone up, but it's an eating thing that I have to get better about because I keep being told by my friend that's training me, he's like, you need to eat more. And I'm like, what? He's like, no, you're not eating enough. You need to eat more. I'm like, what
that's
what
confusing.
Do you mean? What do you mean I need to eat more? I thought I've tried, the point is to trim. No, you need to eat more. I'm like, okay.
If you're going to be working out like that, you need to counter it with this. Be like, oh no. But you're saying, but what I'm hearing is if I do everything and don't eat, I'll lose more weight.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. Yeah.
And I'm just what? It's a weird math thing that I don't get. I was never good at math. It's not
me
my
either.
forte.
I barely got my associates because it was between math or science. They'd
shit.
Haha.
Try to stand.
You son of a bitch.
Sloppy bitch. That's me.
It's his pants.
It's fine. Yeah. So that's the whole thing that's I'm learning right now. It's a new skill.
I still dealing with the last year, which I touched on in the solo episode. I did my checkup last week, and it's hey, just so you know, I'm like, I know I got lazy, and I started doing I was really good. I used to count calories. I'm like, that's so. If you don't do it right, it's so unhealthy.
Yeah.
My dad even made jokes when this was, so I was already starting to kind of have problems before he passed, but he was like, do you want me to put calorie content on each fucking drumstick, on the grill? Just eat.
Yeah.
And I'm like, But of course, then I'm like, oh my God, that was such a dad, like, fuck you answer. But now it's like, it's him saying, like, I don't like what's happening.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just, I don't know. You get, whenever you're down, and I was pretty depressed for most of last year. Like, when you're down, it's like, I could go through the effort of sauteing this kale and, making sure it's grilled chicken, or I could go to Whataburger and just eat my feelings and be done eating and then just go to sleep.
Yep. That's where I'm busy a lot, so I just end up eating out.
Yeah.
I'm very bad at just cooking a meal. It's very difficult for me to just be like, because I'm usually just so tired. I'm just like, I don't want to deal with this. I would rather spend the money and go get the food myself. And
You
then
should
just
go to cooking classes with me.
I would love to, actually.
I do one a month. Haha.
Let's do that.
Let's do it.
Yeah, because I want to get better about. That's another goal. I have like all these New Year's, new me goals, but I'm actually trying to abide by them as much as possible.
Same.
Even though it gets kind of busy, like last week.
When you get busy, it's somehow my body's going to know that I'm busy.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. No, it's just like, it's not going to slow down or, stop doing its thing.
Your blood cells and everything. Guys, he's going through a lot.
He's going through a lot. We're going to keep him where he's at, and we'll pause until the next time when he's not busy, and we'll just resume.
Yeah.
It's because, and then it's like a week where like last week where I go to LA for half the week and I'm like working and I'm driving and I'm like, I'm just, what this McDonald's? And then just shove my face. I'm having it.
Yeah, no. I'm really bad about that. Steven typically cooks, but it's what if I cooked myself? Would that be crazy? Would that just be nuts?
Just be scandalous.
I'm almost 36 years old, and I'm like, what if I cooked it myself?
What if I just gathered the ingredients that are in my refrigerator?
Fucking madness.
Madness. Goodness, cooking it on the stove. Everybody's so shocked when I'm at, like, my roommates will be like, you cooked? I'm like, yes, I did.
Is it edible?
Yes. I hope. I'm always like, I'm pretty good about at least following directions. Like, I'll look up a recipe or something. I'm like, okay, so I can't just, like, whip up food. Howard Wang, he's very, very, very good about just, he will go in a kitchen and he'll just, like, just magic
we
make
only have this,
masterpiece.
bam, 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 bam.
And then it's just, or then he'll go to the store or grab something and he's just like, it's just, like, a chef meal. Like, it's just decadent and prepared. Just, he'll even put, like... He made mac and cheese, and he made, like, a Parmesan crisp and put it in there. I was like, you're so fucking extra. You're so extra.
I'd be down for it.
Now I'm extra in different ways.
I agree.
Everybody knows it's fine. I'm just like, I accept this about myself.
The same thing, too. Or it's why is everyone coming to me? They're like, because you're the mom. I'm like, oh, shit. I am. Oh, like, is it an age thing? Like, you've been the mom since, like, birth. I'm like,
it's fine.
Probably. Like,
it's fine.
Yeah, like fucking Artemis or Athena, I forget which one, just fully formed from Zeus's head. There you go.
Yes. It's okay. I'm a mom, too.
Yeah.
Gay mom. No, it's fine.
Who brought orange slices? Both of us!
Yes! Don't forget to eat your apple and your orange.
Oh my God, I totally do that. Unless I'm at a con. Actually, cons, like, whenever
hard.
they ask, they're like, what would it take? I'm like, can I please? When I was a vegetarian, it was the fucking worst.
Oh, yeah.
But it's like, I forget which one it was, where it's like, okay, so everyone gets, like, this roast beef and everything. Like, what do Steven and I have? They're like, we have lettuce.
Well, I really love lettuce.
Oh.
Do you have some salt for the
I'm
lettuce?
like, can I get some kind of compensation so I could go get a meal? They're like, well, we have stuff for you here. I'm like, Doritos, candy, fucking Pocky, all this shit, like, all good. But I'm like, I'm not really into, like, sugar. I like savory, but even then, I'm like, it's
dangerous for me with the cookies in the green room or anything shit
so
like
when
that.
you do that stuff, like, I did, again, another lazy thing about last year is I'm like, oh man, I could make a cup of coffee and, like, maybe brew a pot and do all this stuff. I'm like, or Dr. Pepper.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, because it's quicker.
Yeah. But, yeah, like, that's a big thing, is just being like, hey, can I have, like, a real meal?
Yeah. Yeah.
I forget. Oh, I was at a con in Vermont, and she ended up becoming like a really good friend. But like, I'm like, oh my god, she took me to this Chinese restaurant. I'm obsessed with Chinese food. It's one of my favorite types of cuisine. I love it, both American and traditional.
Right.
But I was talking. I had ordered this crispy duck, and it came with this like black bean sauce, like drizzled over. And I was like, "Oh my god!" I'm like, the way that they did this with the chicken or with the duck and everything. And she just looked at me. She's like, "Oh, you're a foodie." I'm like, "Why is me not wanting shit like
Why does that make you like food?
a pretentious asshole?"
You're not, because you want to have a good, nice meal, like not fucking Dorito bag in in the green room.
I mean, Doritos.
They're great.
Yeah.
Listen, I just ate Nutter Butters and fucking barbecue chips and a Starbucks. I'm pretty great right now, but that is not a real meal.
No, it's not.
And I will have a real meal at some point today.
Same.
Probably from somewhere where I don't have to cook, but
Probably.
But yeah, cons are the worst for that. And I love doing cons. It's just hard too with scheduling sometimes when it's all back to back, and there's like I'm like I did cookie.
Yeah. See, but like for moms like us, like you would think it's that. No, the second I'm at a con, I forget how to eat.
I forget how to eat too. I won't eat the whole day, and then when I do, it's just shit.
No, yeah, by autograph time or whatever. It's like it's nice to meet you, and I'm like. Kind of feels like I'm sleeping right now, staring at this person. I'm like, I haven't eaten since I left my hotel room this morning.
Yeah, and I'm just like, hi.
I have some cookies. Do you want a cookie? No, I don't want a cookie. Could I get what's the most snackable vegetable? Can I get some carrots? And they're like, oh, what about some potato chips? I'm like, those aren't the same at all.
It's possibly derived from a vegetable, maybe, possibly, but that was in its true form. Now it's in its processed, very delicious form, but not.
I mean, it's great, but
so good, so good. I forget that she's in this movie, and I'm like, oh yeah, I just remember.
She's phenomenal. See, I haven't seen that.
And then what you fucking call it? No.
Yeah, sure. Was in that. Sure, why not?
I'm like, wait, that's
she's just so talented.
Oh my god.
Oh god.
They were both in.
I haven't seen it.
You must.
I have not.
I love a good musical.
Was it good? I've heard mixed things.
I liked it.
Okay.
I liked it. It's very, very
favorite
much...
musical.
Oh god.
I need a reference.
Bless. I don't know.
I need a control.
Oh fuck. I don't know. That's hard. I'm not like a super big musical person, but when I do hear them, I'm like, fuck yes. Because I did like Les Mis when I saw it, and I did like. I think I like more than Les Mis because Les Mis is super, super sad.
Really?
It's too real.
Yeah.
It's too real.
Instead of that, I just watched a Key and Peele sketch making fun of Les Mis.
Yeah.
Is that
no, that's fair. I mean, like, have you seen the live action for Les Mis? With Russell Crowe?
Oh, the Anne Hathaway one.
Yeah.
Hugh Jackman.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, that was my first exposure to the play itself. Mm-hmm. And then I was like, oh, it was good. But everybody's like, did you hear Russell Crowe and his shit singing? And I'm like, what do you mean? And I listened to the actual original stage performance, and I was like, oh, so because he's just going 2, 4, 6, 0, 1.
This is how I sing.
This is how I sing.
This is how I yeah. I do love that. I think Chris D'Elia, Stephen, and I make fun of that. Like it's that whole thing where you're trying to hear like a dramatic note instead of the meet me somewhere else. It's like meet me somewhere else.
Yeah.
Like give me that high note.
Yeah, I need that.
Give me it.
Give me that, yeah. All the way up here.
I do like music or a really shit musical, like here and like, oh god, this is so bad, it's brilliant, like Repo the Genetic Opera. Like, fuck, this is horrible.
Yeah. What is that one?
It's Anthony Stewart Head, who's Giles and Buffy.
Okay.
Alexa Vega from Spy Kids and all that shit.
Yes. Oh my fucking gosh.
Paris Hilton, actually appropriately cast.
What?
Yeah.
What?
Bill Moseley, Ogre from Skinny Puppy.
Okay.
few other people, but yeah. Oh, and Paul Sorvino, who's got the most beautiful, rich voice, but it's a disaster. It's a fucking disaster, but it's a beautiful fucking disaster. Like it's about, it's a musical about, it's called Repo the Genetic Opera, but it's about, you can finance your bones, your kidneys, your organs, but if you're late on a payment, they can repossess anything that they gave you and typically kill you. But yeah.
Whoa, extreme.
Yeah.
What
So
a disaster.
But it's got, oh my God, it's the most ridiculous fucking thing. Face swapping, murder. It's murder. Quote me on that. Murder.
I like the hand motion.
He's doing like T-Rex arms.
T-Rex arms.
T-Rex horse arms. I don't know. See, okay, that's the dude I was talking about.
Yeah.
Before.
I can't, okay.
I don't understand. Is he hot and I'm just an asshole?
I don't know.
Or like that, like trashy hot. There's so many different.
He's possibly trashy hot.
There's so many
That's
degrees
hard.
of
That's
trashy
very,
hot.
He needs to turn around. I need to see his face again.
His
fucking eyebrows. I can't. That's the biggest thing. I'm like, if your eyebrows look like caterpillars on your face, you need to do something about it.
I don't know. I guess it would depend on the dude.
I would classify him closer to pretty boy.
Okay.
And if you have giant eyebrows like that and you're a pretty boy, it needs to stop.
But then if you're really pretty, what if he does it? What if they're too scaped? You know what I mean?
You gotta find
like,
a good
I don't want someone with like Cruella brows.
No, because then that would be too weird.
I don't want eyebrow envy, like as I'm like staring at you.
Your eyebrows are so good, better than mine.
I used to actually, like, my friend Artine, he had very thick eyebrows, and I would just lightly touch them up, and he's like, just make them two, and like clean them up on the sides. I'm like, all right, done, simple. Yeah. But
it's tricky. I had my eyebrows threaded for the first time when I did my headshots. That shit hurts like a bitch. I was like, what the fuck? No wonder nobody wants to do this.
Yeah, and if you don't have someone that knows what they're doing, like, oh, cool. Yeah, like one time. They got like my lid and it like blew.
Oh my God!
No, I'm fine. I'm fine.
How did they get from up here down here?
Like, because like it's just like you hold it and then someone got overzealous with her thread.
Bitch.
And then like, oh,
I'm trying to
you're
get
fine.
Your eyeball.
No, I didn't know I was bleeding until I went to my nail salon next door. They're like, we'll work on your nails. Can we take care of your eye for you?
Yeah.
Like, what? And it's like, oh, yeah, I thought I was crying blood. Like,
it's okay,
sorry.
as you do.
Yeah, like you do. But yeah, no, threading is great. Like, the most extreme threading example, there's Twilight, the first one.
Yeah.
What's his name? Robert Pattinson. He's like, they made him thread hard. So for the second one, they're like, all right, second one's coming up. You're going to do it. He's like, I'm never fucking doing that again. You can deal with me having bushy eyebrows.
So funny.
I'm like,
he is one who does have bushy eyebrows.
Yeah.
And I guess I want to look this up later. I didn't notice that.
Oh, they are so beautifully scaped. Like, they're like two rectangles. Like, yeah, but usually, because in the rest of the movies, he's got, just his Pattinson brow.
Yeah, because he looks more groomed, kind of put on in the first one than the rest of, he's still like put on, but not to that extremity.
He looks more YA vampire cover.
Yeah.
Instead of like a person.
Yeah.
Like, I know you're a vampire, but you were still supposedly a kid in like the 20s.
Yeah, it needs to be more realistic. But I'm like, I don't know what's more attractive.
I'm like, what? I don't know.
Which one is the one that I want?
Sometimes grooming, like, that would be actually, I don't know. Like, it's a case-by-case basis. Just like finding someone attractive. They're like, is she attractive? I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah, it's very tough.
But
I'm just picky. It's fine.
I think it's good to be picky. But then sometimes people surprise you. Like, I had like white dude with dreads. No. And my husband had he was a white dude with dreads. And I'm like, oh, but you're like fantastic.
Yeah.
Maybe I could look past that.
Yeah.
I mean, there's
like certain things.
14 years later, I guess I looked past it. But yeah, I think eyebrows. I check out, like, one of the first things I see, I'm like, I look at your eyebrows.
That's so
I
funny.
look at your eyebrows and then I look at your shoes. And I'm never like, ew, your shoes. But I'm like, your shoes tell me something about you.
Yeah. These are my comfy ones. These are my comfy shoes. And then my eyebrow
look
has like a cowlick right here, and it's so annoying.
See, I like that.
Yeah, but it won't go away.
Eyebrows are cousins. They're not sisters.
That's true.
There you go.
Something to Russell cousins.
Think about that. or they're fraternal.
Fraternal twins.
Not identical.
Fraternal twins. It's fine. It's fine. I think this is the part of the movie where she starts getting bitchy.
Yeah.
I think maybe, or am I thinking of something different?
No, or things aren't working out,
or something.
See, again, her eyebrow game is now on point. So now you're like, okay,
yeah, it's fine now because like there's another movie with her in it where she starts out very just like I'm tiny. I'm tiny. I'm a disaster, and then she like gets it together and becomes a real bitch for friends. I don't remember which one it was.
Like you're describing every movie ever. Oh,
very bad at this.
Actually, that reminds. I'm like, oh wait, I had everything that I needed all along.
Yeah.
Third act of every movie.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, not every
movie, not
the
Harry
professional.
Potter. I don't know. I have my parents at the end of in the mirror, I guess.
Are you watching I'm a Harry Potter dork. Are you watching like the Fantastic Beasts?
Yes.
Okay, because my best friend Sarah. Have you met Sarah?
I feel like I have. But I don't
my
remember.
birthday thing. Yeah, you went to her place.
Yes.
What was it? But I feel like me and her, out of like our Harry Potter friends, are the only ones that dig them.
I like them. I do. I honestly do. I'm not like sitting here bitching about them like some people are like online. They're just like, oh, the worst. They don't make sense anymore. Fuck it.
You ruined Nagini.
I'm like, no, it's actually made Nagini have more substance.
It's
I guess.
kind of pointless.
It is Like it doesn't change anything ultimately too much. This is all spoilers, I suppose.
Yeah.
But I think the thing that confused me, but maybe the next movie will elaborate on it, is what's this fuck? Bowl cut.
Oh, Ezra Miller's character.
Yes. Who dresses fantastic.
Credence.
Credence.
But I forget like what his name is at the end of
Credence
is something
is
Dumbledore.
Dumbledore. I'm like, what the fuck? Wait, hold on. That I'm confused about.
I was confused. Okay, because I remember watching the second one, because you and I actually had a conversation, now that I'm recalling it, on Twitter, because I don't like Johnny Depp. I don't like Johnny Depp at all.
Yeah.
And it's not even about like a whatever you believe or whatever, because obviously that's been a whole thing in our community too. Like, but it's when you cast someone that big, in such, I don't know, a role that's kind of bigger than itself, because he's talked about in the lore all the time.
Yeah.
Grindelwald, and it's to the point where I'm like, you being Grindelwald is distracting as shit.
It is. It honestly is, and he doesn't do a bad job. No, I don't think.
But it's distracting.
It's just the fact that it's Johnny Depp to me, and I'm just like, it kind of takes you out of it.
Kind of does, but then like I remember I was watching it, and I do this thing. It's very much a wife thing. Like you and I are watching something, and if it was me and Steven, I would like hit Steven's knee and be like, Zoe Kravitz. Oh my God, that's what's his name? He's like, just watch the fucking movie. But like, of course, Jude Law. I love Jude Law.
Yeah.
But the first scene you see, like, he's getting talked, or one of the scenes you first see is he's at Hogwarts, which, of course, like me being a dork, I'm like, how did they get onto Hogwarts ground? You're not supposed to be able to. Whatever. Just watch the fucking movie, Terry. But the first thing I said out loud in theaters, I'm like, damn, Dumbledore's got an ass. And I'm like, that's the first time I realized Jude Law's got like that booty.
That booty. It's important.
It's important for the plot.
Mm-hmm. The plot is all in his ass. It's just that's where everything is. Fuck the rest of it. Fuck Credence. Fuck the Dumbledore scenario. No. What's
getting
important?
Al Pacino is big ass.
It's big ass. This is where it matters.
I'm really, the continuity, because I always read in the books. So I'm like, it feels like this guy's got a big ass.
Yeah. Yeah, yes, older Dumbledore. He's got a big ass just under his cloak.
I don't want older, like, Brian, officially Brian.
It's
like,
okay. He's
saggy man butt.
He got it in his youth. He got it.
He got it.
He got it. It's good.
He could get it.
He had a good time. He's I don't know.
He got him while the got him was good.
Well, now we know where his position in the relationship lies.
Power flame. You either get it or you don't, people.
Oof.
Oh, but yeah, no. I felt like it's kind of nice to watch those because you're not stuck too much on the lore.
Yeah.
Like you can hear like oh yeah, there are the tones, there are the Harry Potter things, but it's not like I hope this sets up this, and that's why like Nagini was a little distracting because I'm like no,
weird, yeah.
I just want to watch this. To whereas I watched all of Harry Potter and I didn't read the books till a couple of years ago.
Really?
I'm obviously like they resonated with me still at this age, but I felt like it's that thing. It was too hyped up that I didn't want to read them.
That's like the Lord of the Rings thing for me, and I didn't. And then I was like, oh my god, I fucking love this.
Right, and now like I've got a fucking Slytherin cupcake on my arm and all that shit. But I didn't have to study, but like I read the books and then I rewatched the movies, and then it became I'm like, well, no, you don't know like about Neville's parents, or like
they're in the hospital,
or hey Bill, what happened? And he's just casually like, oh, a werewolf. I actually rewatching it, I was like, fuck you.
Yeah. There's certain things that they gloss over too much, and then they add some things sometimes. I'm like, why? You could have just done this.
We could have, but
could have made time.
But
they
no matter
could have
what,
made more time in these fucking movies. They're already long enough. Add another 10 minutes to explain the fucking things they left out.
Well, I watch on YouTube. I watch a lot of like film essays and Film Joy. Movies with Mikey is one of my, and he's local to the area. He used to work he used to work for Gearbox.
Really? Okay.
And now he does that exclusively. But he did make a good point where it's like he did something amazing. Where you think about Star Wars, where Star Wars, it's the end of the saga, love or fucking hate it, but that took like 37 years to do.
Yeah.
The Harry Potter franchise, they started those movies with like maybe 4 not even being out.
Yeah, I think it was only like the first 3.
Yeah, like it was really cool to hear like J.K. be like, "Oh no, I told Alan everything."
Yeah,
and I'm like, that's insane because then he got to play that shit. I'm like, I love that, and I got the like total like very tiny minuscule part. I'm like, whenever I directed y'all in my audiobook, I'm like, okay, you can hint at this, you can do this.
Right.
Because this is going to happen like in like 2 books. Or you're going to realize that this, blah, go. But like you think about that, they did 9 Harry Potter movies in 10 years.
Yeah.
That's bananas.
That's too much. It's too
much.
Well, I think they were trying to probably rush it too because the kids are getting older and older and older and older and older.
Oh, what was it? Yeah, like Crabbe and Goyle. Like, didn't one of them get like arrested?
He did. He sure did. He got arrested first. I don't know if it was. I think it was Potter or something.
We lost our first Dumbledore.
Yeah. Who else?
It was Richard Harris.
No. Yeah, but I feel like there's another change at some point in there, but I don't remember what it was.
I mean, and they tweak stuff. I get that. But yeah, Neville's still my favorite.
Neville's a good boy. He's a good beat. Long bottom. Long bottom.
You emphasize bottom weird. Long.
So how is it?
Big ass.
Big ass. Just this, but long bottom. Big ass and long bottom. They should be friends. This is why him and Dumbledore need to connect.
No. Well, he's dead now.
Oh, you spoiled everyone. Spoilers, Terry.
Oh, I clearly don't. Like, Donald made that joke. He's like, this is a great movie that we're watching. Why are we talking over it? I'm like, that's just, like, if we've both watched a movie, that's, I'm trying to describe that to our guest for next month. And he's like, all right, so I have the idea, right? I'm like, yeah. He's like, okay, I got that. I'm like, it's not about, he's like, no, I get it. Yeah. Because that was one thing, I forget what, I was on a date forever ago because, like, I'm married now. But there can be accidental dates because, like, I always thought side, blah, blah, blah. I always thought people would be like, hey, would you like to go out on a date with me?
Yeah.
It's never that. It's a, hey, you want to hang out? And then, like, you start making out. You're like, oh, I guess this was a date.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or they lean in for a kiss, like, whoa, what are you doing?
Yeah.
This wasn't a date. This was just going to the movies and having dinner. Oh, fuck.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I've had that too. Where with like, yeah, that's we're gonna go to dinner and now we're gonna lay in bed. Oh, that's not a date.
We're gonna lay in bed.
I'm like, wait, hold on. That's not a. Oh, I guess I'm wrong.
Oh well, yeah. But now it got to the point where it's just like, hey, just so you know, like we're just hanging out. Happens a lot more with women with me because
That's funny.
I find women very attractive and I've dated a couple, but it's like oh well, I mean, I figured it was like different if it was a woman. Like,
What?
No, rules still apply to
They
you.
still very much apply. Yeah.
Yeah, like I'm flattered,
Yes.
but I'm gonna have to pass on
No, thank you.
the sex.
No,
Yeah.
no, nine. No.
No
Nine.
gracias.
No, good.
But yeah, I was on a date with this Scottish guy, and we did date for a little bit, but like it was like it was a zombie movie. I think it was a Romero movie, and he'd never seen it. And I'm like, this movie's really important to me. And he's like, oh, this is dated. Like, it's a movie from the 60s. And I'm like watching, and he's like, why do you think he did that? I'm like, if you watch,
If you paid attention
you
to
watch
the
it-
details.
This movie is dated because I just noticed how old the Mac is. I'm like, oh shit, technology. Not the actors, not the age of the actors or anything. The Mac is.
oh
really
yeah, oh yeah.
Though I think it's still one piece, rather than having the big hunking tower.
Oh my god.
Yes, you do.
Or sometimes you rewatch, people find Daria nostalgic, and I'm
Yeah.
like, oh, it's because 90s is back as far as fashion. That,
Yeah.
like, oh my god, watching that or Buffy, I'm like, oh my god, all of that shit is back right now. Holy shit. Like,
I don't think I ever saw Buffy. I think I did.
I watched, like, Buffy, I think from the beginning, at the new network, the WB.
Yes.
And immediately connected with it. Still love it to this day, but I rewatched it a couple months ago, and I'm like, I was obsessed with Xander Harris, who's like the guy, the funny character. I'm like, that's the Zeppo character that doesn't really
Right.
have anything to contribute. But rewatching it, I'm like, was he always this much of a dick? And I'm like, yeah.
Yes. He radiates dick energy.
Or like, this is maybe like it's age or whatever, but I'm like,
I want the pudding.
yeah. But I don't know if I would ever recommend someone watch it now.
Yeah.
Like someone brought that because I mentioned the IKEA thing, and
Uh-huh.
someone's like, "I've never seen Firefly," and I think they're waiting for that. What?
I fucking hate it when people. I say I haven't seen something, and they're like, "What the fuck's wrong with you? Why haven't you seen blah blah blah?" And I'm like, "Listen, it's
usually like a
okay.
50-year-old, and like you're like 25,
20, almost 27.
almost 27. Well, fuck you. But like 27, I'm like, I can't believe you, someone younger than me, hasn't seen the exact same amount of films that I have.
Right, and I'm like, I'm sorry, I don't know. It's like even like trying to narrow down films for. I was like, I don't know like what my favorites are. It's very hard for me to like pick top movies, but for like TV shows, I watch more TV shows than anything. And I'm like, yes, like I love fucking Breaking Bad. It's great. Breaking Bad's great.
Do you?
I love Breaking Bad.
You're the first not straight man I've met. I'm dead serious. Like, I've had
Really?
numerous discussions. I'm like, I don't think that's him. Like, I don't know anyone that isn't a straight white dude that likes that show. And I just met him.
That's that's pretty exciting. I feel honored.
Couldn't. I got to the beginning of season 2 and I stopped.
Really?
It's just,
Yeah. For me, it took a couple episodes.
yeah.
Yeah, because the first 2, 3, I was like, fucking, this is boring, whatever. I don't want to watch it anymore. And then I was like, okay, I'm going to give it another chance. And I started watching it, and I started paying more attention. I was like, oh, okay, I think I'm interested. And then something happens. I'm like, oh, fuck. And then I'm like, all right, I guess I have to watch 3 seasons tonight.
Yeah.
And that's what happens. Game of Thrones was another one that I didn't watch until, like, after. I think you guys were watching, like, one of the finale
Yeah.
episodes at either Colorado or St. Louis. We did 2 cons back to back.
We did the same cons
Yeah, I
together.
was just like, hey. and you guys were watching it, I think, and I was like, I don't know I was thinking I was falling asleep in my chair or something. I was like, I'm tired.
It was a really slow one.
Yeah, and I was just like, I don't know what's happening. But then after it finished, I was like, okay, maybe I'll give this a chance. Because I had tried to watch it before, and it was like Breaking Bad. I was like, I don't know what the fuck is happening. This is long. And then I was like, oh, here I go, watching season after season after season in a month.
Yeah.
I watched it all of it in a month. And that was crazy. It was really good. And then, but you know, I see why people have problems with the end.
Oh, yeah. Donald and I, in his episode, he was like, so welcome to the Game of Thrones podcast, because we talked about it for a long time.
Oh, yeah.
But I remember, like, I forget which con, we were watching one episode, and there was a guy that had never seen it and didn't get the hype of it. So he talked over the entire, like, it's premiering right now episode. And I'm like, dude, I know you don't know me, but I'm about to fucking punch you. Like, shut up. And then it was like, a whoa. And then everybody else being like, yeah, shut the fuck up. Dragons.
There are
you.
Dragons. Yes, please.
God
be quiet.
damn it. And he's like, so is that his answer? Like, shut the fuck up.
Just watch the fucking show. Stop. If you haven't seen it, just stop asking questions. Just fucking pay attention,
It's
or
like
fall asleep like me.
It's like watching it with my grandmother. And being
Like,
Oh, what's happening? I don't understand.
watching X-Men with my grandmother was one of the most frustrating things.
really?
Oh yeah, like guess, like, okay, so why does he have blades in his hand? Like, okay, really quick. It's from this, and like, oh, so she can't touch anyone. I'm like, yeah, that is what the scene just said.
Yeah.
Oh, it's Jean-Luc Picard. I'm like, it's Patrick Stewart, and he's playing Charles Xavier right now.
Just get into the character. Fuck, Grandma, get it together.
Also, when she's not like Spanish is her first language, so you're like, like, I'm really trying to be patient. I don't talk during Christina. I just fine. But I'll just be like, I'm getting from context what's happening in this scene. I think.
Yeah.
Her makeup is beautiful for being in a coma.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Marimar.
Is this like a soap opera?
Yeah.
Christina.
Telenovela. Like, unlike, I got super Latino on you there. But, unlike American soap operas, these end. Like, they last like 1 or 2 seasons and then it's over.
Yeah, because I think like my mom used to watch The Young and the Restless, and it's still
they
fucking
are
going on.
old and very tired.
They're every week there's a new I'm like, you guys, are you not tired of this?
Who's watching?
Who's watching
right
this?
now?
I don't understand. Somebody who's like wants to watch like catch up to what's happening. Good fucking luck. The thousands of episodes that you have to watch to catch up. That's different than Game of Thrones. That's
well, see, that's
thing.
like anime too. Like, what was it? Because someone at the little library thing, they're like, I still haven't finished Fairy Tale. I'm like, I'm into Fairy Tale, and aside from my episodes, I really don't know what's happening past like episode da da da. And they're like, oh, you haven't finished it either. Like that made them feel better.
Yeah. Well, it's like One Piece too. Like I've done like the movies or whatever for them, and I'm always like, I don't know what the fuck's happening in the show. Where's this? Why is this happening? Who? What? Huh?
And I love, like, it's usually like being directed. They're like, okay, so this is like from this blah blah blah. I'm like, I hate to admit this to you because I love that you're passionate and I love that you assume that I've seen it, but I don't know what you're talking about. Can you please give me the gist of what happened? They're like, oh.
And it's not that I don't want to watch it. It's just there's just no time to watch that.
It's a commitment.
Yes, it's like a commitment. Any show, One Piece, anything like a Game of Thrones. That was a commitment. I was like up till 3:00 in the morning watching that shit. Kind of like I would get home and I'm like, I'm not doing anything else today except for sitting on my ass right here and watching Daenerys and her fucking journey to becoming crazy.
The queen and the queen.
Yeah, that's good. Oh, excellent. Her dress is fire. This is the commentary. We'll just commentate on the movie and just inspect.
I remember, like, what was your first commentary, like, as an actor?
Oh shit. Oh god, I don't know.
I think it was like Shikabane Hime or Corpse Princess, and it was in one of those tiny rooms, like Caitlin's booth size, and it was me, Aaron, and a pregnant Lucy.
Oh no!
So like between like as Lucy's saying something, Aaron and I are like,
it's like Studio G or something.
She's like radiating like heat, and she's like,
I'm sorry, I'm an oven.
fine right now. I'm cooking the baby.
But yeah, like you, nobody really gave me things to like say, so I didn't want it to be one of those commentaries where it's like, oh, I remember this scene. Oh, that.
Yeah, that thing. That
she sounds great here. I'm like, I directed that. Again, it's like sucking myself off. Like
it's just like get real flexible for that one.
Yoga. I'm very but whenever I moved to being on a director on Mike McFarlane's team, he's like, okay, so I want you in all the commentaries with your actors to help maintain where the story goes.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't want any, I remember recording this, blah, blah, blah. He's like, I want stories. I want you guys talking to each other. And I'm like, thank you.
Yes, it's more engaging than I remember this thing in the window. Yeah. And I don't even think I remember like getting any direction like that. I think one of the first things maybe was Tokyo Ghoul. I don't remember though. I don't know. I know I did one recently for Kono Oto. Fuck. I don't remember. I don't know. There's a few. I didn't do one for a long time though. Like people were like, "Oh, you haven't done commentary?" I was like, "Nope."
Well, and I think if like even engineering, there was one that me, Rico, and Marcus Dimmick did, and I kept like right now we're watching the movie and we lightly hear it, but it was for an episode of Assassination Classroom, and what the way that Funny did it, I haven't done a commentary for them in a while, but the way they used to do it anyway, it might still be this way, is you watch it once and you do kind of a scratch track and then you do it again, and they pick which one they wanted, but we watched it and we couldn't hear like the way I can hear you. We couldn't hear ourselves.
It was just like cranked up for the audio.
And I'm like, hey, are we gonna turn this down like whenever we're talking to each other? But the engineer couldn't figure out how to do that because it wasn't his session. So I think he was like very like overwhelmed on like I don't want to fuck anything up. Oh my god, anytime an engineer has to hop into another engineer session, the first thing is usually, why the fuck do they have it like this? Because everyone's got their own way. And then like, oh well, this isn't my session, I'm just filling in for blah blah blah, so fuck. But it got to the point where like me, Marcus, and Rico each had to take off a can, and we were still shouting over ourselves.
Oh my god.
And then on top of that, it's still got to be organic, and we were both like, all three of us were so hoarse by the end of it.
It's like, I'm yelling this whole thing, commentary movie. Yes, you remember that.
I mean, well, it was with Marcus. Like Rico, of course, is very like, woo.
Yeah.
But Marcus is like,
very chill.
This is
very mellow. Yeah,
it's pretty much as loud as I'm gonna get.
Yeah. And if it gets louder, it's surprising.
But that gravelly voice, though, it's one of my vocal crushes. I have many.
He was in a show with me called Nambaka, and he actually is not very like low kind of thing. He's like a very over the top, goofy guy. And I was like, and I met him, and I was like, huh, that's interesting. That's.
Well, see, don't you think people think that about you? Like you're all like gravelly and menacing, and you're like, "Hi,
hi." I don't know. It is funny when I have that interaction. Sometimes they're like, "I think I did it." When I was at OhioCon a couple weeks ago, we were all on a panel, and I think I did like that voice, and then it was Michael Sinner Nicholas and Lisa Ortiz, and they were both like. They just like turn like, what? I was like, hi.
I love that.
I was just like, that's just kind of funny to me. I was like, I guess I don't know. I forget that it's not as common with like a you go like dip from like a normal tenor or not tenor tone.
Yeah, I don't know. It's different. Like I'll do low stuff or whatever. I think it's different for a man though. I just think it is because no matter what. I don't think there's going to be something so dramatic that your suspension of disbelief will be like, that's Terri?
Yeah.
But maybe I'm undercutting myself. But, okay, you were talking about OhioCon. What the fuck happened with your money?
Oh, my God. I got robbed. It sucked.
Oh, my God.
I don't know what happened. It was like,
All right, so, like, was that your payment?
I think it was like autograph, something like that.
Okay.
So, yeah, it was. So I went.
Of course, asshole YouTubers like Daman Mills.
Oh yes, I'm like I didn't even know I was being talked about. So that's interesting.
Yeah,
that's funny. Thank you for giving me publicity. I don't know.
All right, but no,
cool,
for those that don't know, typically, like I mean, most of us work with cash and credit.
Yes,
like because we sell like autograph cards and all this stuff. But also, sometimes cons pay us in cash.
Yes.
More often than not, I really prefer check.
Some checks are safer, but yeah. So for this instance, the convention was really busy. It was a big con. There was a lot of stuff going on, and usually, you put that stuff away, and I just didn't, I guess. But it was in my room, and this was 6 p.m. at night, and I went down back because I didn't need it anymore. I went back down to the con floor. I think I had it in an envelope, and it was on my table. And then it just, the next morning I went to go grab it and it was empty. And then they logged a card key used on my room at 7 p.m. when I was gone. That was not assigned to the room. And
so it was definitely stabbed.
I think so, yeah, because that's basically what they said. But they were like, oh, but the person's swearing up and down that they didn't do it. I'm like, but I looked through all my luggage.
That's really nice that they're swearing up and down.
But the money is gone. And I'm like, and this was like...
what? Like you decided now to be like, hey, by the way, I just want free money, so I'm going to lie about what
I also raise money for Chris at cons, too.
Yeah!
So this was partially for him.
Which I love that you do.
Thank you. So this was not just for me, my sake. This is also for Chris. So I was extra pissed. Mm-hmm. And the police didn't want to do anything. The hotel didn't want to do anything. And
so nothing's happening.
It is being resolved.
Good.
Now.
Good.
But yeah, it was hilarious that it just had to take, I think, a Twitter blast to get it to do that.
Well, sometimes I don't know, because it is that thing, I think as extroverted as people think I am, I'm incredibly introverted.
Yeah, me too.
And it's that whole, I think with the way that we grew up very similar ways.
Yeah.
I think there's this thing where it's like I don't want to make this a big deal.
I didn't want to at all.
But I was robbed.
Yeah, I was like, am I too bitchy right now? Am I too upset?
No.
And everybody's like, no, you fucking got robbed. That's horrifying for all of us because then it makes us all aware of that and how we need to operate at conventions because, it's just you don't want to get taken advantage of like that.
No.
Robbed. Out of your... It's one thing if it was my fault and I left it out somewhere.
Right,
but it was
money on the bed.
Yeah, literally, it's sort of here,
thrown
or
out.
even just not in the if it was at my table or something like that. And
right,
I left
and you
the table.
walked away. Or
yeah, and I'm like, okay, that's my bad. This was sealed away in my room at night when hotel staff should not be coming in. And that's the thing too is they were oh well, so because I always put the do not disturb thing on my door.
Me too.
Every con, every time.
Always do not disturb. Always TV on.
Mm-hmm, yeah. But so they, it's actually really smart. I'll do that from now on. But they were like, actually, that doesn't mean do not disturb. It actually just means occupied, and hotel staff are allowed to check your room every 24 hours.
No, it doesn't, bitch.
I was like, if you read the back of it, I was like, I didn't read the back of it because at every other hotel I've been to, it's been do not disturb. So... No, I don't think that's how that works.
No.
No.
Well, I'm glad it's getting resolved. But,
yes, but it just took a lot of bitching and a lot of me throwing a fit. And that's what, so I'm like, okay, people are talking about that as whatever the fuck. And I'm like, that's funny.
That's been the whole thing. Because what was it? They're like, it's been a year. Since we decided to, I think, also support all the people coming forward and holding people accountable. It's whatever it is you want to do. Mm-hmm. But of course, because I've got keywords that I search and I try to report things for friends and all that. That's right. And I learned this morning I'm almost up to 56,000 blocks.
That's great.
It's nothing compared to Monica's. Her and I were comparing stuff. I'm like, oh my God, did you read this? She's like, did you see this bullshit? But then we but it's so funny now, a year later where it's a tears of a clown type of it's just sad.
Yeah.
But someone, I found your name. I forget how. I think I was looking up links because, whenever I promote the show, I'm like, I'm going to promote Damon's website and all this, and Twitter, all that. And I forget how I came upon it, but it's like karma has reached Daman Mills.
I think I did see something like that. I was like, karma. I was like, cool, but it's being resolved, so it didn't hit me at all.
Nah.
So it's fine. It's also not just affecting me. So fuck you.
Like good karma and bad karma.
Yeah,
so I
I'm
guess
like,
you're still right.
I'm like, cool, great, awesome. Get a life. I don't know.
But it's that further and further thing about them not really these haters. That's what we're talking about, and obviously like. We're not trying to just blah, but sometimes it's just kind of good to like vent, get it out of your system. And we often do that with each other. It's been great.
Yes.
It's brought, those of us still on good terms in the community closer together.
Yes.
But you just, I hate this guy so much.
Yeah, I was just going to say, not my type.
He
looks like a big douchebag.
Looks like a recall Ken.
Recall kid.
Yeah, like, oh, we're sending this back to the factory.
Defective.
No, I just don't get it.
I don't get it either.
I mean, there are guys that, like, the second you get, like, if it's like, hey, can I buy you a drink? Be like, oh, no.
Yeah.
But then, like, you start talking, like, oh, shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's do this.
Yeah.
But this is not one of them.
No, I'm just like...
Maybe it's the character. I don't know. So good on you if that's the case, because you're supposed to... But I can't even see how she would find him fuckable.
No, I'm good.
I'm good. No, thank you.
No, thanks.
Steven and I joke about that all the time. I'm like, oh my God, that guy looks fucking stupid. He's like, that guy walks up to you in a bar, you're single, and I'm like, probably.
Yeah.
He's like, be real, because we were friends for a year. He's like, be fucking real, Terry.
Right.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, I don't know. It's so funny. What's really fucking annoying is when people are like, oh, you're gay, so any gay guy is attractive, right? I'm like, you're an idiot. You're an idiot.
That's how that works.
Yeah, I'm just, oh, yes, that person, that, yeah, I really want,
No, or just, like, remember my dad? He was very much like it's just not what I'm used to, but, like, your friend, he seems really nice, so... I mean, you care about him, so I'm like, all right, calm down. But he's like, as long as he doesn't hit on me. And my friend's like, you're safe.
And
he's like, okay, he's funny. All right, fuck. I'm like, all right, you adorable little redneck man. Like, calm down. Yeah. There are a lot more gays than you know. They're just probably being a lot quieter around you, babe.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
It's really
annoying. That same kind of thing where, like, I guess you don't think the rules apply to you because you're a woman?
Right.
No, babe.
Yeah.
Like, I'm still going to call... actually, there was Steven once, and he's like, you want to get off my wife's lap? I'm like, oh, like, you don't find this odd? He's like, no, and I'm about to fucking pull your hair. Get the fuck off my wife. I'm like...
Yeah.
But we've tried, like, at cons, we're like, oh my God, that guy's really cute. And then, like, yeah... I know he's gay, but
and you're like, it's fine. Yeah, it's fine. I'm just like, I don't know. I'm just so picky. So picky.
Picky is good.
Extremely picky. And that's why I'm like, well. So, yes. No.
No.
We're going to have so many things after this.
Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it.
I have to be so careful sometimes in the booth when when it's something clappy or anything like that to not actually clap or stomp or do stupid shit like that.
My first show that I directed was also when I interned on, and then after I finished out my degree, Bevins offered me the rest of Big Windup.
Yeah.
But I can't believe I had to tell, especially in Girl Wallas, because you had to we had to chant characters' names. So, all right, you guys are going to chant Tajima for 2 minutes. And there would be it has to be Tajima, Tajima, Tajima. And then it'll cut to Tajima, Tajima. You see me doing that. I'm like, you can hear me, from the talkback mic. Nobody clap, but there's always one person that's like, yeah. The engineer is just going, I'm going to kill her.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sorry.
It's like, don't do it.
No clapping.
No clapping. No patting, panting, stomping, nothing.
Yeah,
don't
watch the kind of you can hear us because we're doing
yeah, if you do that or whatever, but if you have something really jingly on or anything like that.
Right back, Tia wore a very she had the cutest little vest tie ensemble, but she was running and you could hear it was
yeah.
And I'm like, I know that this is kind of weird, but I need the vest to go.
I
like,
need you to
or,
strip.
or you need to run differently. And she's
Yeah.
like, yeah, the vest. She's like, no, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah. I have a bomber jacket that I cannot wear to recording sessions ever because it would not go well. Any movement is just like something. So most of my clothes are very just like not noisy.
They've got to be cotton. Yeah, like I always wear a necklace, but I always wear it under my clothes. But I have to wear. No, that's I just shit myself. No,
Rawley's gonna be so mad.
That was a cat. My Topo Chico. Or if I want to be an ass to Stephen, my Chopo Tico. But I have to wear long sleeves when I'm recording. I need to fidget with
I
sleeves.
like having longer sleeves because I hate it though when it's like summer and hot.
Yeah.
Some booths like I just can't. It just can't.
No.
Like whisper rooms especially or anything
Whisper
like that.
rooms, even if they've got proper ventilation,
Yeah,
it
it
doesn't
usually
matter.
gets so even in the winter sometimes, especially if you're screaming or doing anything like that. I'm like, I'm sweating. It needs to go.
If I've straightened my hair that day, it's going to be curly before the first 20 minutes. So.
Or if I do like makeup or anything, it's like it's gone. It's fine.
Oh, I know. Girls coming like to the fucking booth like in full face. I'm like, what are you doing?
Yeah, it's gonna be especially if you're like just talking, it's gonna be fine. But
Yeah.
like if you're gonna be like high energy, you're getting stabbed or something like that. You're good luck.
No, I'm like, no makeup. I'm going to be wearing a very thick lip balm.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Yeah, you're not gonna be looking like here.
No.
Just.
Unfortunately.
Oh my God.
Or even.
He's great. I always think of It's what's his fuck? What's his name again? The thing. Oh, it's I hate it. It's gone. It's that. Have you ever? Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
No, read it too.
Yeah.
I'm reading the series now in Spanish for the first time.
I love it.
And Steven's reading the series for the first time.
It's so good. So good. We'll have to talk. We'll have to talk. It's I read them like a couple times each. But fuck, what's it?
What's it? Or something.
It's like some shit like he's blue. I don't
Yeah.
know.
That was.
Yes, I'm like, you are frightening, but it's great.
It's like a space Ryan Seacrest. Yeah.
Yes, that is
that
is hilarious. Just has my aesthetic, and it's fine.
I love because we did 2 cons together back to back.
Yes.
Is we apparently can't take a photo together without
No.
someone being like, these bitches, like
It's the same
because
hair.
we don't even have the same haircut. It's a totally different cut,
It is,
but
'cause
it's a
mine, like-
shaggy, different colored hair.
Yes, I'm like, oh, sorry, we're not copying each other.
When both of us were blonde, though, I'm like, okay, yeah, that's funny.
Yes. But now it's not the same.
No.
Not the same.
So we're both moms with our different colored hair going through stuff, apparently.
We need to have our book club or something. What do moms do?
I don't know. Anything they want.
Yes. Yes.
No, I don't know. Like, my mom was always working and
Mine
all that
too,
stuff.
yeah,
but
yeah.
like those people that are like, oh yeah, my mom's at the book club reading
Yes.
The Color Purple. I'm like,
It's
all
funny,
right.
a relative of mine. She's just like, it's like I'm really busy this week. I have parent teacher conference and I have that's all there. And I'm like, that's very stressful for you.
When I think about when I would think about becoming a parent, I'm like, all right, who's doing all this stuff?
Yeah,
Steven?
and I'm not trying to like belittle
no,
that or
no.
anything. Yeah.
But like you think about that stuff, I'm like, it just seems like something that like so fake to say to be like, oh, I have a PTA meeting or I've got a parent teacher conference.
Yeah,
or,
it falls into this. I hate to say stereotype. It's not really a stereotype. It's like it's a thing that happens that they do or something. You know, it's like that mom's just like, oh yeah, the PTA or
like cliche.
the block party or I don't know. Whatever.
You're just saying words. Block party, crystal meth, like the thing all moms do.
Yeah.
Just mine? Okay.
Just fine. Yes, it's just the crystal meth. It's fine. It's that they hit her and the neighbor mom just all shared.
To be clear,
To be clear,
my mother is not
just must,
addicted to crystal meth.
it's fine. It's fine.
It's close.
What the fuck?
The
For the ending.
The music is swelling.
It's swelling. She's thinking So this is commentary part 2 where we actually just describe what's happening in the scene. So in this scene, it's wet and there's a lot of cameras.
See, I like, what was it? Like, I think my favorite solo commentary was Taika Waititi in Thor Ragnarok, where, like, at one point he's clearly doing it at home. His daughter comes in and she's like, "What are you doing? Get out of here." And he's like, "Why don't you go bug mom? Blah, blah, blah." Or like, "Do you want to comment on that?" She's like, "No." Like, I'm like, that.
So cute.
That's how I would fucking do that. But he's just being, like, making up shit.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh man, if I did it for anything that wasn't mine, I probably wouldn't get away with it.
Oh yeah, no, or like she just threw in, like a dead body into this pool. It's great. That's
I love it.
And that body was clammed up. They were
that body, Macaulay Culkin.
People keep saying I look like him.
What?
It's so upsetting.
First of all, isn't he like stupid short? And he's got like a weird. Okay, I actually don't know Macaulay Culkin, and I do have still a weird obsession with him. I do. Yeah. And he's got like this new website, like bunnyears.com or something
like that. Playboy Bunny, I don't know.
But he's got a very like turtle style nose.
Yeah, and I'm like,
no, you don't. I don't see it at all.
Yeah, when I was blonde.
Okay.
Very like people were like, "You look just like Macaulay Culkin," and I was like, and I think he was like, he looked very sickly at the time, and I was like, "Thanks." So I look sickly. Is that what you're saying to me? Thank you.
I don't ever like getting like, who you remind me of?
I'm like, please don't fucking say it. Shut up. I don't want to be. No, don't say that.
Like, or who you remind me of? I'm like, okay, yeah, that. Like the mentality that like Janine Garofalo. They're like, yes.
Yeah.
Or, like,
but if it's like, you look just like so and so, I'm like, thanks.
I get now it's changed from like now it's changed from Macaulay Culkin to K-pop, whatever, and I'm like, that's fine. I can deal with that. That's fine.
I would consider that a compliment.
That is a compliment. Yeah, okay. So I'm like, thank you. Macaulay Culkin, I'm like, sorry, I take kind of offense.
You know who you look like? You know the witch in the end of Sword of the Stone? That. Mad Madam Mim. There you go.
Thank you, yes.
The hell do you mean by that? Yeah, like, oh.
I'm going to make your children.
Well, that's what's so weird about, like, whenever you meet children. Whenever you meet children in your line, is they don't. I think that was it. Nancy Cartwright, who plays Bart Simpson. She's got the right idea where she's like, if a kid comes to my line and they're confused, it's like, all right, close your eyes, and then they'll do the voice. I'm like, that's the way to do it.
Yes,
because I think it's so jarring whenever you meet someone and like, but your voice.
Yeah, they're just like, you don't look like the character. I'm just like, you just look away. Then,
but I think sometimes that's what's so shocking about your shit is you can pull from like the big chestiness.
I am a big boy.
No, and I'm like, where?
It's in my leg. I don't know. It's fine. So,
in your big ass.
My big ass. I have no ass. It's fine. So I just.
Oh, you have Neanderthal?
Yeah, Neanderthal. Yeah.
No ass at all.
Now it's developing because I'm doing squats.
Okay.
Yes, so it is correcting
a little bit above.
Slightly, not enough.
Okay.
In time, I will have a big ass.
That's fine, like a Pacino reference to show you, because he's just got this like way of saying like she's got a big ass.
Just a big ass. It's fine. Yeah, I don't know. With kids, it's funny. I've had kids. It was cute. One time I met these kids and they started bowing to me because of Frieza, and I was like, "That's funny." They're just like,
"That's weird."
I was like, "Yes, Lord Frieza, yes, bows." And then they brought their sibling, and they're just like, and then they play along too. They did like a Ginyu Force pose or something like that, and I was like, "This is precious, and I love it."
I don't know how to respond to that.
I didn't either. I just role played with it because I was like, what do I do?
I guess it depends on like
I'm
what
like,
time.
Yes, bow. I don't know.
What are you doing?
Like yes, I don't know how to respond. It's like.
I was really fucking tired, and it's one of those cons where like they don't tell you till you get there. Like, oh, by the way, you're doing like a breakfast with people on Sunday. Like, oh, so that's already on the schedule, huh? Like. Most of the time, they've gotten pretty good about telling me, but it's that, like, there was this one guy that wasn't sitting at my breakfast table, and me and Tatum were just talking, and someone went, oh my god, Sebastian and Virgo, and we're like, our names are Michael.
That's the thing,
Terry.
too, is when somebody calls me by a character name, it's just jarring, and I'm like, that's not me, I'm not this.
I know, but I'm like, I know you're excited, but it's just like, I was half I was half asleep, and it's that they kept I felt so shitty afterward. They kept interrupting other people trying to talk to us.
Yeah.
And then finally, at one point, they're like, hey, Virgo. They were dressed like Lucy. They were dressed like Lucy from Fairy Tale. So I'm like, okay, I'll leave it alone. He was adorable, and he was fucking owning that Lucy outfit.
Yes.
But it was just like a baby, like, and then it's like, Virgo, your princess commands that you take a photo of me and Sebastian. And Tatum's like, just take the photo. Like, he's like, I'm like, I know. Like, it's early and it's like last day of the con, whatever it is.
Yeah.
But I took the photo and he went, your princess appreciates it. Perhaps I should reward you with some punishment. And in the anime, Virgo finally does get punished by getting flicked on her head. And he's like, perhaps I'll flick you on the head. And I dropped everything. I went, you flick my head, we're going to have a fucking problem. And he's like, and Tatum's like, Terry knows. I'm like, I'm sorry, sweetie. Like, please don't touch me. Though it was that kind of like, I know that was in the show, but like, I'm super, super not Virgo about that. Please don't. And it's like, oh no, I would never. I'm like, oh shit, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Sorry, I almost just like lost my mind. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry.
But yeah, like, and I saw the photos like of us, like, and all that stuff. But I feel so bad, but it's this. Like, there's bowing and, being like, oh, blah, blah, blah. Tatum used to make that joke. He's like, fucking Sebastian makes me have to just fix everyone's costumes. Like if you're CL, it's like, oh, Sebastian, fix my bow tie, fix my shoe. And he's like, I'm going to have to start saying no to shit. But yeah, I draw the line. It's like, oh no, my name is Terry. My name's not Virgo. Don't fucking do that.
Just don't do it.
You can bow. I wish I had some Ginyu Force shit.
Yeah, I was like, what the fuck? This is weird. Okay. I'm like, because I'm not this uppity bitch, whatever, most of the time.
Most of it. No, I don't know.
Cute. Sometimes, listen, I'm very extra. But
I actually hate you.
That's fair. That's fair. So does the internet. It's fine.
Oh, whatever.
That's fine.
No, they don't.
It's fine.
They super don't.
Whatever.
We've hit the credits.
Whatever.
We've hit the credits.
The credits.
We made it.
We did it. Stunts by that one guy.
Stunts. What stunts? I guess some shit did happen.
Right? Yeah.
Like, you don't think about what's a stunt anymore.
Yeah. That one. Getting to that car was very difficult.
We're clearly watching John Wick 3. There were stunts.
Avengers.
John Wick Avengers Part Redux.
The Redux of the Galactic
heroic
fucking. I don't know.
The fucking.
Yes. The fucking is happening.
Did you say what the fucking is happening?
Yeah.
I love it. Well, sir, is there anything that you want to promote?
Yes. Oh, Twitter, at Daman Mills, on Instagram. Everything that I can think of right now is mostly NDA.
Yeah.
I did start a new show with Kyle called Hatina Illusion. Kyle Phillips.
That one looks really cute.
Yeah, I play Mamoru. He's like the dad, and he's like a magician. He's very over the top, and I was like, this is interesting. I haven't done something like this before.
Playing parents is different.
I've never done. I've
weird.
never been a parent.
Oh, really?
This is fun.
That's cool. I'll have to watch it.
Yeah. Dragon Ball Z Kakarot just came out.
Yes.
That was fun. I just cannot say enough how many laughs we had in that session.
Dude, we were
all over the
weird.
place.
And we were also booth crazy by the end of the...
We were so crazy because it would go all day.
It was like 2 full days.
It was 2 full days of just nonstop. And I was just like, I am delirious. It was so funny, though.
Does this work?
Yes. And that's Madonna Frieza that is just the most hilarious fucking thing I've heard in my life ever.
Madonna. Ever. Voice actors, what?
What? Who? Do I recognize anybody?
No.
Nope. Quick scroll. Yeah. Other than that,
I think there's a couple things coming out in a couple months, but it's not yet. The thing I went to LA for.
Meow. But thank you for being on the show.
Yeah, thank you. We had fun.
Yes. We have fun.
We have lots of fun.
All right. So.
Madonna. Written by Madonna. See? Bringing it back.
All right. So we're going to go get big asses.
Big asses
on some
and
snacks.
You are correct. I want some fucking
That is
food.
accurate.
Meow.
Thanks for listening, guys. Be sure to tune in next time when my guest will be someone else.
Someone else.
All right.
Oh.
Mwah.
Mwah.
Big ass.
Big ass! Wait. 1, 2, 3. Big ass! We did it.
Sorry, Steven.